Hello and welcome to UticaTV Overtime, where each week we will be keeping you up to date with everything that's going on with your Utica Pioneers. I'm your host, James Brown.
And I'm Andres Jaime Mendez. Let's get right into the action from the past week.
The men's soccer team took on SUNYAC opponent, the Oswego Lakers. The Pioneers looked to get back in the win column this past week. Utica opened up the scoring in the first half when senior Cody Baker Green netted his 7th goal of the season in the 30th minute to put his team up 1-0.
The Pioneers went in leading at the half, but the Lakers would come out hungry in the second. Oswego scored in the 51st minute, courtesy of Kyle Genrich, to even the score.
Then, in the 86th minute, the Pioneers gave up a tough goal as it was scored by Jason Woodyak. The Pioneers team dropped a tough loss 2-1 to a non-conference opponent, Oswego.
Women's tennis hosted Houghton University for a Friday afternoon match. The Pioneers have struggled to find a win as of late, but look to turn things around.
And La Liga and Slema Desdavric pulled through with a win in the first of 3 doubles matches. The junior and senior duo emerged with wins again in the singles matches. The Pioneers struggled to find success in remaining matches and dropped this one to Houghton University by a final score of 6-3.
Volleyball matched up against Wells College for the second time of the season over the weekend. The Pioneers entered the game riding hot after they secured their first 10-win season following the win over SUNY Poly earlier in the week.
The Pioneer offense surged out to a quick 14-5 lead in the first set thanks to a strong run from server Lauren Jones. The Pioneers went on to take the first set by a score of 25-20. The second set was back and forth between these two squads, and it wasn't until late that the Pioneers were able to seize control and pull out a 25-18 second set victory.
In the third set, Wells put together a strong effort early to keep up with the Pioneers, but in the end, the Pioneers were too much for the Express, as the Express fell short in the third and final set. Utica took it by a score of 25-17. Eleanor Seapole was the biggest standout for the Pioneers as she recorded a game-high 15 kills. Crystal Pappas had a stellar game defensively as well, tallying 18 digs on the day.
The men's golf team traveled to Timber Banks Golf Club to compete in the Empire 8 Fall Championship. The Pioneers have a lot of new faces on the course, as 5 of 6 of the players in the tournament will be making their conference championship debut.
Junior Adam Woodmansee led the Pioneers after day 1 with a score of 79. The Pioneer team strokes after day 1 totaled to 331. Junior Kimball Johnson shot a team-leading 83 on day 2 of play and ended round 2 with a team strokes of 347. The Pioneers men's golf team sits in 3rd place heading into the spring for the Empire 8 Conference.
On Saturday afternoon, our Pioneer football team continued their winning streak to 5-0. The boys came out hard right away against opponent Hardwick College.
They kicked off the scoring with a 2-yard run into the end zone by Sam Florio in a drive that consisted of 9 plays, 77 yards, and a possession time of 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Hartwick then answered with a 91-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Sockley, but that just gave the Pioneers fuel to the fire.
They went on to score 9 more times, consisting of field goals and touchdowns, to make an astounding final score of 57-7. Now that is a domination if I've ever seen one.
The field hockey team hosted their second game of the year this weekend when Elmira came to town. The Pioneers were looking to extend their 8-game winning streak over the Soaring Eagles.
The Pioneers came out hot, scoring their first goal in just 58 seconds. Juniors forward Alyssa Pizano scored her 5th goal of the season off of the rebound to put Utica on the board. The Pioneers began to pull ahead in the second quarter when the first-year forward Riley Casamento netted her first goal of the season and her career. Congrats, Riley.
Later in the second, sophomore superstar Mackenzie Mix scored her 4th goal of the season to extend the Pioneer lead out to 3-0. The Pioneers really ran away with the game in the third quarter when they scored a trio of goals to put the game away. Mix scored the Pioneers' 4th as well as their 6th and final goal to get her first career hat trick. Congrats, Mackenzie.
The Pioneers took home the victory by a final score of 6-0. Utica moves on to a 3-5 record on the season and a 2-1 record in conference play. They will be host to the Ithaca Bombers on Wednesday afternoon.
Now over to James, who talked with one of the standout players from this season's field hockey team, Alyssa Pizano.
Hi, I'm James Boston. I'm joined alongside me is Alyssa Pizano, a junior for the Utica field hockey team. And how are you doing so far today?
I'm doing good. Haven't really done much. Just went and shot around at the field, so pretty easy day.
And so just to get this started, how long exactly have you been playing field hockey?
I've been playing since 8th grade, but I didn't play freshman year. I got recruited for lacrosse, so I started playing sophomore year and then this year for college.
What exactly got you into field hockey?
Well, when I was younger, I quit cheerleading and basically had to fill it up with something else, so I just started field hockey randomly, but yeah, pretty random. No one I know plays field hockey, so.
Yeah, because it was always interesting because like field hockey is not exactly one of those like big sports that you always see people play, but it seems like, I mean, the team's not huge, but you get a lot of people playing it. It seems like more the higher up you go, so it's just interesting to see exactly how you got into it. And so you mentioned that you played lacrosse, and that was initially what got you here.
Yeah, I got recruited here for lacrosse. I played lacrosse since like 2nd grade, so I've always played it. I've done travel team, but one of the lacrosse girls actually, who also played field hockey, Lexi Scatia, she was like, "Oh, we need girls for the field hockey team. You run similar to me. We have a similar skill. Like, how about you just join?" And I was like, "Okay." So it was like on the sideline of a lacrosse game. She basically asked me to play too. So that's how I got started here.
Do you think that your experience in lacrosse has helped you at all in playing field hockey?
Oh yeah, for sure. My coach said like with like reading the field and stuff, that it helps that I play lacrosse because I'm able to like, I just see the field better. And, but she said that sometimes I stand up too much because I play lacrosse. Usually you're supposed to be on the ground, and she notices who plays lacrosse because of that. So that's something I shouldn't do.
And so looking at your career here, you started, your first season was 2021 after the COVID year. While you weren't starting with the team, you were still getting good minutes with them, and you were still getting a lot of playing time. What were you able to sort of take away from that season and build on and coming into this year?
I feel like with that, it was just building like team relationship because I haven't played for a year or 2 years, so it was just building like relationships and seeing like other people's skills, and I would just basically learn how to better my skills from the girls on the team, and I think we just got really close, and that helped with my skills too, so they know like how to tell me what to fix and stuff like that. And
so the team lost a lot of key players coming into this season. What's it sort of been like working with such a young team and so many new faces?
I feel like it's been pretty good. It's like a rebuilding season for us, but you could already see the difference with the freshmen. Like the first years, they've gotten, like coming in, I feel like they were a little timid. Obviously, you're coming into a collegiate sport, you don't know what you're looking at, but they've gotten all really close with each other and with us, and their skills have improved so much already. Like you could already tell they're comfortable on the field, and I feel like it's going to be good to see what they're going to do throughout the years because they're already getting so much better this year.
And as one of the returning veterans, have you had sort of more of like a leadership role that you've had to step into this year?
Yeah, I think so. Especially because we don't have a lot of upperclassmen this year. So, and I think switching my position because we lost all the forwards for our upperclassmen. So I guess now I'm technically like one of the older ones for the forwards, but so I guess I've been teaching the forwards like the positioning and that sort of stuff on the field, but I think off the field, like I've been helping one of the first years with their homework because she's like the same major as me, so I think like we've been really close, and I think being a veteran like definitely helps because they like gravitate towards you and want to do better and stuff.
Have you ever had like any experience being like one of the leaders on a team before, or is this kind of your first time?
I feel like it has been kind of my first time considering I didn't play lacrosse as a senior because of COVID. And when I played field hockey as a senior, we had a lot of people in my grade, and there were the captains, and there were the girls that tried to step up to be captain as well, and I was just kind of always hanging back. So it's a little different because I've never really been like that before.
And looking at the comparison from last season to this one, you started every game, and so far you've excelled in that role. What do you think has sort of allowed for you to take that leap forward this year?
I think, again, just like seeing the veterans from last year and trying to see the skills that they had and trying to incorporate that into my play, because I changed positions this year. I played midfield, and then last year, and now I'm playing forward. So I think like looking at Sabrina Whitehouse, Madzo, Sydney Scatia, like they were big components to the team. So I think just like remembering the skills that they had and in practice and what they brought. So I've been trying to bring that to the field.
Did you do like anything different this summer to sort of get ready for this season, or did you just kind of treat it the same?
I treat it the same. I try and do a lot of stick skills and stuff, but we do a run test every year. And I try and run that as much as possible. So it's called the 12s, and it's like, what is it? It's 20-second sprint down the field and 40-second jog back. And then you try and do that like 12 times. So I try and do that as much as possible, but it definitely gets tiring.
I can imagine.
Yeah, after a little bit, and so I just try and run as much as I can, but.
And it's hard to talk about your season as a whole without looking at the Washington-Jefferson game. You got the hat trick there. Did you see anything different in that game that sort of let you have such an offensive outburst?
I feel like it's more the whole team. Like I was just there trying to get the goal in, but it kind of happened without like the defense. Like the defense were the ones that brought it up to the midfielders. They brought it up to us. There were a few midfielders that swung the ball in, and we talked about the game as a whole, and we just overall we looked more comfortable with each other. Like when the forwards go up and play defense, then the defense feels more comfortable. They have more people helping them out. So I think altogether we just like worked well as a team that game, and you could definitely see the team chemistry come out. And we had like a 9-hour bus ride there, so we really had team chemistry that day. But yeah.
And one thing that sort of stood out when I was looking at the stats on your season is every single shot you've taken has been on goal, and you're scoring on over 40% of them. Is that efficiency something that you kind of like focus on, or do you just think it kind of happens?
I think it kind of happens. It's kind of like my coach always says, she's like, who's going to be the one to get the goal? Like it's not, I feel like we're not really focused on like points, like who has points, who's getting this. Like we try and work together as a team, and we're just looking for a win. So it's kind of like if they get the ball, like the midfielders, if they get the ball in the circle, like the forwards, we're just trying to finish it. So we don't really care who it is, but me being like the center, I'm right in front of the goalie. So it's kind of like my job. I got to try and finish it. So I think that's all.
And the team's excelled at home so far this season, won both games by a combined score of 10-0. Is there just sort of something about playing in front of this home crowd that helps you perform?
I feel like we definitely get a little more hype in the locker room. We have the music going. We've been having recruits too, so I think we're trying to make the locker room even more fun for them. And yeah, I feel like we don't all get sick on those bus rides, so I think that definitely helps a little bit.
But that about does it for me here today. Thank you very much for joining me here.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Now looking ahead to this upcoming week, the women's soccer team will be going head-to-head tonight at 4 p.m. against Massachusetts College. The Pioneers so far have an undefeated record against Massachusetts. Be sure to head over to Pioneer Field to see if they keep that streak going.
Coming off their biggest win of the season, the women's field hockey team will look to stay in the win column as they host Ithaca College tonight at 7 p.m. The Pioneers have dropped 3 straight to the Bombers dating back to 2018. Head over to Charles A. Gaetano Stadium tonight to watch the Pioneers try and defend home field.
Coming off of last week's win, the volleyball team will be facing another intense match against Utica College. The match will be on October 5th at 7 p.m. in the Clark Athletics Center. The volleyball team now only has 5 home games left, so be sure to catch one of those games before the season is over.
The men's soccer team looks to rebound following a loss to nationally ranked Hamilton as they take on the St. John Fisher Cardinals on Saturday. It is the breast cancer awareness game, as both teams will honor that. The Pioneers currently sit in second place in the Empire 8 Conference as they look to pick up 3 points on Saturday.
The Utica women's soccer team looks to snap a 2-game losing streak as they take on Nazareth College in an Empire 8 Conference matchup. Come out and support the Pioneers on Saturday, October 8th at 3 p.m. on Pioneer Field.
The women's field hockey team will take on the Utica College Wolves this Saturday at 6 p.m. for their breast cancer awareness game. This marks the first of 5 straight conference matchups for the Pioneers. Be sure to head out to Charles A. Gaetano Stadium on Saturday to cheer on your Pioneers as they look for their 4th straight win against the Wolves.
And that's all the Utica sports that we have for you this week. Be sure to keep an eye out for our Moose Minute series that'll be coming out soon that takes an inside look at your Pioneers.
And be sure to follow us on social media to see when UticaTV will be broadcasting your Utica athletics.
Thank you so much for watching, and always remember to
fear the moose.